Hey everyone, we are Alex and Tina. Since 2019, we started a travel blog named The Daily Packers, and since 2023, a YouTube channel in order to journalize all our adventure. We are a couple from France and Serbia who met in China back in 2014. Together, we traveled to more than 40 countries. In April 2023, we spent 3 weeks in Vietnam, where we visited the north and the center of the country. This video will be about Tam Coc in the Ninh Binh region. If you are wondering how we got there, we actually included it in the end of our 3-day luxury cruise in Halong Bay and Lan Ha Bay video, as the transfer was included with the cruise, so be sure to check our previous video to learn more about it. We woke up around 5 am, so we decided to get back to our routine and did some yoga. It was good to finally getting out of the jet lag. At 7 am, we went for breakfast. One of the things that we loved about the place we were staying in was the garden. It was not only beautiful, but filled with trees and flowers. We opted for the vegetarian pho. The pho was alright, not the best you can find in Vietnam, but it did its job and we were slowly getting ready for the day. We also had tea and coffee. As we forgot to specify which type of coffee, we got it cold and sweet, which seems to be more the standard here. We then rented a scooter directly at the reception for the day and headed toward the Bai Dinh Temple. But first, let's refuel the scooter with 1 liter of fuel. Here in Vietnam, renting doesn't go from fuel tank to fuel tank. You have to refuel yourself and can give the scooter back with an empty tank. So we inserted the temple on Google Maps, but when we arrived there wasn't any parking and we were told by a security officer that the parking is somewhere else. We then drove another few kilometers to find the parking. As often, there was a small tour where you can pay the parking and where we got 2 bottles of water. Next, to access the temple you need to buy entrance ticket. We were so confused with the ticket, as there were a few options but no one could really explain it to us. So we took the basic one, which is the transfer in an electric tuk-tuk from the parking to the entrance of the temple. Later on, we understood that the other ticket included 3 electric tuk-tuk transfers within the complex and the visit of the pagoda. We then hopped on the electric tuk-tuk and were driven to the entrance. Bai Dinh Pagoda or Bai Dinh Temple is a complex of Buddhist temples, including the original temple and more recent one. Plus, it is considered the largest complex of Buddhist temple in whole Vietnam. We started strolling around the site. It's really huge, with many old temples and pagoda. Live update from Ninh Binh. Super hot here, super humid. Because it's past 30 degrees now and the humidity is so high, super hard to take. Just simply walking around, just like sweating so much. It's quite tough.
We're dying.
Looks like the Buddha is laughing at us. How tired and sweaty we are.
This is how we survive change weather.
Well, I always think
our bellies.
in China, I see a lot of people like that, especially where we used to live. Always a bit skeptical about it, but damn, it feels good. We found the site stunning, but as the weather was really hot and humid misty, we were pretty tired after 1.5 hours or so exploring it, and decided to slowly exit it. To do so, we used the upper exit to avoid having to go all the way back, but skip the little walk up the mountains in the end. On the way out, we grabbed a bottle of water and a fuzzy tea as we already had drinking all our water. we headed toward the Vân Long Nature Reserve. But as we were getting close to lunchtime, we first stopped at a local restaurant called Nan Hang Tuan Tu Van Long Ninh Binh, located right next to the reserve. It was a really local restaurant and provided a great experience. There we had tofu, vegetable, rice and fruit. The food was yummy and it was great to see how locals are in restaurants. Then we went to the ticket office of the Vân Long Reserve, where we parked for free the scooter. There we got the full ticket. There seems to be two types of tickets, but you have to get both of them anyway. We tried to understand what was the difference, but no luck either here, nobody could explain in English. The lagoon was 5 minutes walking away. We hopped on a boat with a local person rowing. The ride was nice, the reserve is beautiful and we saw many birds, even stork, which is a bird we are used to as there are many of them in our hometown. Don't forget to bring sun cream and a hat. It was super hot and the sun really strong. When we left the boat, we gave a small tips, which was a first for us in Vietnam, as normally, and as far as we experienced, tipping isn't really a thing in Vietnam, and generally in Asia. But the guy kept asking for more. It was the first time such a thing happened to us. We didn't know what to do and we felt bad about it, so we gave him what we asked. That was the only con of that place. We then drove back south toward Hoa Lu Ancient Capital and parked at the entrance. Also, if you want to avoid paying the parking, you can park in front of restaurant, where people tell you it's free. And at the end you just need to get something from them, even a bottle of water works. After getting 2 tickets for Hoa Lu Ancient Capital, we walked past the gate and around the site. Hoa Lu was the capital of Vietnam from 968 to 1009. However, it was actually quite small and consisted only of 2 small temples to visit, so we were quickly out. Our next destination was Am Tiên Cave, located right on the opposite of the ancient capital, which was 5 minute walking distance, so no need to get the scooter. There are however parking in front of the cave, but it costs twice more. For Google location you can use Tuyet Tam Coc or Dong Am Tiên. After getting 2 tickets, we entered the hidden lake, passing under the mountain in a tunnel. The Am Tiên Cave is a stunning sight, really quiet, with a little lake in the middle. We loved it. After walking around and seeing the gate, we sat near the shop and got a tea and 2 water bottles. There we rested a bit and watched the hundreds of koi fish in the lake. After a while, we walked out, got our scooter and headed back to our accommodation. We stopped to buy some banana and mangoes, and once at our destination, we took a really nice shower. It has been a while we didn't have such a hot day and sweated like that, even though we didn't do much effort. For dinner, we simply stayed in our accommodation. Once again, we woke up early, around 5:30 am, so we continued back into our routine and did some yoga. Around 7 am, we went for breakfast. Today we ordered fried eggs with coffee and tea. They also come with some fruits. As we were still a bit hungry, we even ordered a second round of eggs and coffee. Tina wanted to send her learn later, so we took it easy until she finished, and around 9 we left. After hopping on the scooter, we right away made a stop for 1 liter of fuel. And then we headed to the Bich Dong Pagoda. There we parked the scooter in the dedicated area at the entrance. The guy at the parking was nice and asked for a fair price right away. He also told us that the pagoda is free. After getting 2 bottles of water, we visited the pagoda and the small temple, the few tombs around and the shrine. One thing we discovered by luck is that there was a ceremony taking place right at the top of the hill. It was really nice to witness. then drove toward the Phang Nan Bird Park because we thought it was free and we could just walk around the site. But we were wrong. To visit the park, you must buy a ticket. Plus, there is again a boat tour in the park. So we decided to skip it and drove back to Tam Coc, where we parked on the pavement of the main street for free, right before the ticket area for the famous Tam Coc Boat Tour. We got quite addicted to the Vietnamese food city, so we got one more before the boat tour, plus it was helping Tina with nausea. We then got 2 tickets for the 1.5 hour Tam Coc Boat Tour. As foreigner, we get to have a boat only for ourselves. As local, you have to be 4 on the boat to go. The boat tour was beautiful and we globally enjoyed it. The tour took us through stunning rice fields between mountains along the Halong River. The particularity of this boat tour was that the rowers row with their leg. However, this is definitely more touristic than the Vân Long Reserve. Right after the first cave, there were photographs waiting to take pictures of us. At the turnover area, a lot of people tried to sell a snack and push us to buy something for the rower. Ultimately, at the end, the woman rowing even asked for a tip before we arrived, which we found quite rude, and we didn't feel like giving any as she wasn't really nice during the trip, didn't try to explain anything and was just getting it done, compared to others we could see, where they would stop, pick up flower and so on. So far Tam Coc seemed quite touristy for us. Lunch was at what will become one of our favorite restaurants in Vietnam, Chookie's Beer Garden, where we already went the first night we arrived. There we ordered a Phoenix beer and a vegan tropical smoothie. For dishes we opted for the falafel burger and the falafel salad. It was super duper yummy. In the afternoon we had planned on visiting the most famous site of Tam Coc, the Trang An Boat Tour, but didn't want to get there too early. So we chilled by the little pool at Chookie's and it was so refreshing. We also make a little stop at a handcraft store located right next to Chookie's, as it seemed quite interesting. From there we dove to Trang An Boat Tour, which wasn't too far and which is the only boat tour recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage. After getting 2 tickets, we passed in a tunnel which was super well decorated, but globally the whole site felt much more developed and maintained. At this point we had to choose one of the 3 routes of the site. Mostly locals take Route 1 because it has the most temple. We took Route 3, as it has the longest cave of the site, which is 1 kilometer long. Before embarking we bought 2 small bottles of water and then went on board our small boat. There we met Donna and Chris, a couple from Australia that was super friendly and with whom we really enjoyed the tour. If you want a boat only for yourself, you just need to buy 4 tickets. The tour we took was going through 3 caves and 3 temples and took about 2 hours. It was really stunning and by far the best boat tour to do in Tam Coc. The 1 kilometer cave was truly impressive and took more than 15 minutes. For each of the temples, we went off the boat and then visited them. It was also great and each of them had toilets and small stores. If you want to see the complete tour, we'll make a dedicated silent video of it. We also appreciated that it wasn't too crowded. We didn't wait for tickets and during the tour it was quite nice. In addition, we had the best weather we could ask for. At the end, we got back to the huge parking opposite of the complex, paid for our scooter parking and kept on. Our final stop will be Mua Cave. Once on the street leading there were many people trying to stop us for parking, but we went until the end and parked right in front. Unfortunately, even there was a fee, unlike what we could see on the internet. The access of the site is also regulated and has an entrance fee. There is an hotel in the site and therefore many attractions to see, such as flower pond, caves and so on. But we went straight up the 500 steps, which wasn't too hard, but still tiring due to the heat. We wanted to see sunset from the viewpoint, but there wasn't really one, as it was blocked by mountains and clouds. Anyway, up there it was quite crowded, but the view was breathtaking. It was the real poster card from Tam Coc. On our way out, we also saw some buffaloes in the water. That's one thing we love about Vietnam, is that you can see a lot of animals in the wild. Once out, we headed back to our accommodation to take a shower and ended the day with a dinner at Banh Mi Hanoi, located next to Chookie's, where we ordered a vegan banh mi, a vegan pho and fried rice, plus a big bottle of water, a beer and a fresh coconuts. It was super good and the people there super welcoming. But we must admit that we had our eyes bigger than our bellies. For our last day, we only had planned to relax and later on to go back to Hanoi Airport. So we woke up a bit later today, stretched a bit and went for breakfast, which was a buffet this morning as the hotel was full. We also took the opportunity to ask the reception when was the best time to visit, and we got May is the best if you want to see flower blooming. Summer is too hot, so avoid it. Autumn is the best. As we still had some time in the morning before our transfer to Hanoi Airport and then to Hue, we went biking inside the rice field and in town, where we grabbed 2 banh mi with tofu, peanut butter and avocado to eat in the airport later on. We then bike back, stop in the rice field to watch some ducks and then head to our accommodation to check out. At this time, we received a little gift from our accommodation. There were really nice people there, but a bit understaffed when the hotel was full. What's that first?
It's a gift from Halong. And we got some nuts, I think.
Oh, nice.
And rice. And lotus fried.
Ah, nice. Our transfer was organized on WhatsApp. It was with Trang An Limousine and was a van transfer between Tam Coc Ninh Binh and Hanoi Airport. At 11:45, we were picked up by a car. We then picked up 2 more people and then drove to the main van. It had 11 seats. We had the one in front of the last row. The van seemed a bit old, the seat not too comfortable, however they were USB and they were working, and it wasn't such a lengthy transfer. Once the van full, we left. At 1:30 p.m. we made the first stop outskirts of Hanoi, somewhere around 30 minutes from the old center. There we changed back to a car for the airport, and by 2 p.m. we arrived in the airport. If you too are planning a trip to Vietnam, we made a little something to help you, the Vietnam Travel Map. This digital map includes all our pins from our 3-week travel in Vietnam, as well as all our preparation pins for southern Vietnam. Therefore, our Vietnam map includes all the places we visited: Hanoi, Sapa, Halong, Lan Ha Bay, Tam Coc Ninh Binh, Hue and Hoi An, as well as all our preparation for Phong Nha, Nha Trang, Da La, Mue Ne, Ho Chi Minh City and Phu Quoc. The best reason to get this map is that you won't need to spend time pinning all ours and others. tips and recommendations. Instead, you will get the full map from this destination for online and offline use. So check it out with the link in the description.